Let us begin by paying homage to the Buddha, the fully enlightened one. After paying homage to the Buddha, we will pay homage and take refuge in the Buddha, in the Dhamma, and in the Sangha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhamma saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddham saranam gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami, Dutiyampi Sangham saranam gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddham saranam gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami, Tatiyampi Sangham saranam gacchami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Meditation is not something that we do. Meditation is free from we and free from doing. Meditation is experiencing what is already without adding anything to already or experiencing. When we sit in meditation, we will experience mental pain. We will also experience physical pain. And through the experiencing of mental pain and through the experience of physical pain, we will learn to detach from grasping onto anything. If we feel like we are not getting something, or if we feel like we are not experiencing something, why is that a problem? Why is not experiencing something a problem? Why is not getting something a problem? Meditation is like realizing problemlessness. Meditation is like realizing gainlessness. Meditation is like realizing that there is nothing to lose or gain already. How can a cloud gain or lose something? Is a cloud something? Are you something? Or are you just experiencing? And why does experiencing need to get something? Why would experiencing need to, or have to, or want to experience something? Experiencing itself is already enough, and we do not need to experience more than experiencing itself. Why do we want to experience something? Why do we feel like we need to experience something? What is something anyway? Can experiencing be something? Why is this experience not enough? Why are we not exhausted by trying to experience things? Why are we not willing to stop trying to experience things? Are there even things to be experienced? And if there were, or if there are things to be experienced, then who or what is experiencing things? And why do things need to be experienced? What are things anyway? Do things exist? Does it seem like things exist? Or does it seem like nothing does not rely on things existing? If we are not open to experiencing nothing, then how can we practice meditation? If we are not open to the vanishing of the body, then how can we understand ourselves? If we are not open to the impermanence of things or experiences, then how can we understand the passing away of experiences? Why do we feel like we need to understand experiences? Why do we feel like we need to understand things? Is it actually necessary to understand things? Is it actually helpful to try and get a hold of what we experience? Is it even possible for a bird to get a hold of the air? Is it even possible for you to catch your breath? As if your breath was a thing that could be caught. Why would anyone want to be stuck in holding on to things? Whether they are experiences or whether they are stories or thoughts, why would we want to hold on to them? Can we hold on to anything? Can we hold our breath? Can we hold space? What is more spacious than not holding anything? Why are we afraid of experiencing things? Why are we afraid of experiencing the body? Why are we afraid of experiencing the mind? Because we tend to be like this, it is as difficult as a fish being afraid of water. And if we can drop the fear about experiencing the sensations in the body, and if we can drop the fear about the possibilities in our mind, then we do not need to rely on possibilities. And in the same way, we do not need to rely on our mind. We do not need to rely on our body. We can just experience it, and it's not a problem. What would it be like to stop experiencing the body? would that be pleasant or neutral or unpleasant to not experience the body? And why would it be that way? Why are we trying to avoid our body? Why are we trying to avoid what we are experiencing? Maybe what we are experiencing is already a void. And what is a void? What is unnecessary about avoiding anything at all? Maybe because we are so focused on knowing about things, we are afraid of things. What if, instead of trying to know about things, we were more comfortable with not understanding what's happening? What is it like to not be uncomfortable about not understanding what's happening? Is that similar to freedom? To not be uncomfortable about not understanding what's happening? Why, for example, do we love puppies? Why, for example, do we love children? Do children understand what's happening? Do children care about understanding what's happening? Do puppies understand about who they are? Do puppies care about who they are? Why do we care so much about who we are and who other people are? Who is who? And why are they so loud and noisy? And why won't they leave me alone? Instead of believing in all the different things that we hear about and think about, how about we detach from believing in anything in particular? Because I am not so sure about what things in particular are, other than particular things themselves. And they are already like that. So why do I need to think about them? Why do I need to try to understand what is already like that? Why do I care about that thing? If that thing is already like that, do I need to care about it? Do I need to think about it? Do I need to understand it? Does a fish need to understand the water? Does anyone need to be someone in particular? Why would anyone need to be someone in particular? Isn't that exhausting? Isn't that horrible? That someone would need to be a thing? and not just anything, but something in particular. And who is deciding? Who is fixated on making decisions about themselves and about other people and about the world and about the environment. But instead of making decisions about people and places and things, wouldn't it be better to help? Wouldn't it be better to not be controlled about thinking about things? Maybe I don't want to think about anything. Maybe I is not a thing. Maybe what is happening right now is not a thing that is separate from anything. Maybe this experience is not a separate thing. And maybe that is okay. Maybe I don't need to think about it anymore. And if I think about it too much, then I may need to call an IT specialist. So what is a specialist of it? Does it specialize in anything in particular? Can you show it? Can you receive it? Is it you or is it it? So grasping onto phenomena means that we need to rely on IT specialists. The Buddha is the specialist of it. When we have a technical problem, we should not rely on thinking about things. We should rely on the Buddha. Meeting the Buddha is what Buddhism is about. Buddhism is not about feeling good. The Buddha did not teach people to feel good. The Buddha is it. And it is not something in particular, and it never has been. This meditation practice is the digestion of entanglement with phenomena. Whether those phenomena are mental or whether those phenomena are physical, is just a means of helping you out of fixating on complicated entanglements concerned with not only your body and mind, but the great body and the great mind that does not rely on separation to define itself or understand itself. It is not a self, because a self is not what the Buddha taught. And it is more important to have faith in the Buddha than it is to understand what we think about. When we have faith in the Buddha, understanding what we think about is irrelevant. Why do we feel like we need to be relevant? Why do we feel like we need to be important? Are you not important enough already? What could be more important than already? The price of freedom is limitless. In the same way that for us, as human beings listening to this talk, the ocean is limitless. Why should we superimpose our thoughts onto a limitless ocean? Why should we give so much importance to limit? Limit depends on impermanence. Limit cannot exist by itself. Limit arises out of impermanence. And it returns there as well. Because we are fixated on arising and returning, we are as foolish as race car drivers, Formula One, risking their lives going around in a circle to make money. Maybe making merit is more reliable than making money. And maybe merit is more valuable than money. So maybe we need to rethink what we are doing in our lives. And maybe the reason that you have money but that you are not happy is because you are busy making money and you are not busy making merit. So what is merit? Merit is like a potato seed becoming a potato. You may think that potatoes are unimportant. You may think that potatoes are for poor people and that you do not like them. How about instead of caring about not liking poor people, we tried to help them. And instead of building a skyscraper in ourselves or in the world, celebrating money and greed, we built a skyscraper in the world to help people. What is so confusing or difficult about understanding merit is that you do not like potatoes because you do not like yourself. And because you are not liking yourself, you are trying to avoid yourself. And because you are trying to avoid yourself, you do not see yourself. And because you do not see yourself, you do not know that it is not there. We should try to be more comfortable with knowing about what is not there, rather than fixating on what is there. What is there is already here. That is why it is there. That is why it is here, because it is already. And it is important in such a way that is like the importance of water. And you liking or disliking to drink water is not important. And you have to digest that. That your preferences and that what you like and what you dislike is stemming from genocide. Preferences are contributing to genocide. Preferences are not as important as helping people. Understanding ourselves is not as important as helping others and understanding them. We will understand others as much as we are able to understand the importance of helping them. The most reliable way to help ourselves is to help others. Why would it not be like that? How could it not be like that? Why are we afraid of being generous? Why does a part of ourselves hate generosity? Why are we so angry about how stupid we are? Rather than being angry about how stupid we are, why don't we focus on helping people? Helping people in such a way that doesn't care about stupidity or intelligence. Maybe stupid is not what is stupid. Have you ever thought of that? That stupidity is not stupid, but that grasping onto anything causes suffering. That chasing after anything is like being in a prison. Why would the mind want to be in a prison? Why do we think it is so funny to imprison people? Why are we so comfortable with imprisoning people. Maybe we are so comfortable with imprisoning people because we have imprisoned ourselves. We have imprisoned our wisdom. We have imprisoned our virtue. We have imprisoned what makes us human beings. Considering that you are in a prison and that it is not comfortable, if someone were to give you a file and tell you that this file can help you get out of the prison, but that it will take a while and that it would be difficult, what would you do? If you were only doing for yourself, then maybe you would not try to get out. Or you would try to get out and then you would be discouraged or tired about trying to help yourself. But what if you liked to get out of prison for everyone? If you wanted to help everyone, do you think that there is anything that could stop you? Do you think that there is anything that could discourage you? Do you think that helping everyone has any limitations at all? Imprisoned in a prison cannot stand against helping people. Being imprisoned in a prison does not like generosity. We hate generosity because we have become fixated on the prison of our mind. Because many of us have been told that not thinking about things is wrong. Because many of us have been told that not understanding things is wrong. Not understanding things is normal. And not knowing about things is what we mostly know about. It may take time, whatever time may be, but we should not stop. We should not give up. As difficult as it may be, it is not as difficult as giving up. And again, if we are fixated on ourselves, or if we are fixated on people that we know about, we will likely give up before we are successful. But if we are not fixated on anyone in particular, then we will not stop no matter what. In the same way that a fish does not stop no matter what in the ocean. Because where can you stop in the ocean? The ocean is unfathomable. The fathoms of the ocean are unfathomable. That is why they are called fathoms. Prisoners do not like other people being free because they feel like they are in prison. So, instead of trying to become free for ourselves, we should try to help others become free. Trying to help others become free is like being free already. And showing others that we are free already without needing to do something or be someone. If we cannot be open to what we are experiencing, then we will be defined by what we are experiencing. And I do not want to be defined by any experience, because experience is not the definition of I. What you are experiencing or what you are not experiencing is already. And as much as you grasp a hold of experiencing something or not experiencing something, it is already impermanent. By practicing meditation seriously, we will not just become more clever and be able to say interesting things, but rather we will be able to see through appearances. And in seeing through appearances, we will be able to understand principles. The principle or the theory of the Buddha mind. The Buddha mind is that which is not bound by anything at all. The Buddha mind is like that which is not subject to impermanence, because it is free of impermanence. Impermanence cannot touch the Buddha mind. It cannot reach it. Because you are not a Buddha, and because I am not a Buddha, we take refuge in the Buddha rather than taking refuge in ourselves. We are fortunate enough to be in the era of the Buddha, and we are fortunate enough to have the Dhamma and the Sangha. So we do not take refuge in money, and we do not take refuge in ourselves, and we do not take refuge in other people. We take refuge in helping, yes, but more importantly, we take refuge in the help that helps itself. That is the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. As much as you can recognize what the Buddha recognized, that is the first noble truth, that there is unsatisfactoriness, that I am unsatisfied with my life, with my past, with my future. I am unsatisfied with everything. So, as much as you can digest the bitterness of unsatisfactoriness, you should be equally as serious to take refuge in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, which is precisely that which you do not understand. The reason that children are able to learn languages naturally is because they are not confused about not understanding them. Not understanding them is fine, so they can easily use it. We can easily use what we do not understand, and whether or not we begin to understand it or not is irrelevant. And this is called using only. And this is called experiencing only. And this does not rely on someone, because it is free of someone, because someone cannot control using only. Someone cannot control experiencing only. It is uncontrollable. It is not subject to control. It is only. And we can say that it is wonderful, and we can say that it is horrible, but maybe rather than caring about if things are wonderful or caring about if things are horrible, we should try to find a pathway in which we can help more people. There is no shortage of people who need help. There is an abundance of people who need help, and that means there is an abundance of merit-making opportunities. And in the same way that a billionaire destroys this earth, a meritorious person blesses this earth. And because the billionaire destroys this earth, they suffer, and they cause others to suffer. And because a meritorious person does not harm, because things to a meritorious person are much less important than not harming, they bless this world. And they are natural to transcend birth and death. Just in the same way that a movie can be filmed and not disappear easily, only cannot disappear at all. The Buddha is like that. The Buddha cannot disappear because the appearance of the Buddha is not the Buddha. The appearance of the Buddha does not depend on appearing or disappearing. The Buddha mind does not depend on, does not rely on things appearing or things passing away. Things do not exist in and of themselves. Things are the everything that is not everything already. May we bless May we share, may we help, may we continue. Let's share the merits. You can repeat after me. Dear Buddha, dear Dhamma, dear Sangha, I take refuge at your lotus feet. I will follow the path to make many merits. And whatever merits I make, and whatever merits I have made, may they be offered to all beings, regardless of if they are sentient or not. May all beings, regardless of time and regardless of space, receive, rejoice, and be happy about these merits. Dear Buddha, dear Dhamma, dear Sangha, may it be, may it be, may it truly be. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. Okay, good, thank you. So do we have any questions or sharings, important points?
I do have.
Okay.
And first of all, I would also turn to our Sangha here before I share what I would like to share.
Yes.
Because I want also to remind everyone that we are creating good merits now by enduring the practice of listening to Dhamma. And listening to Dhamma is quite rare in our life. And this is also an opportunity for us to learn, but this is also an opportunity for us to create these very merits that help other beings. So today we already had some reunion, had some meeting with Pante, and we could hear already some teaching from him. And now we had this intense teaching during the meditation session. And even I, with love for Dhamma and with love for teachings and with recognition of words of Sayadaw, of our master, in the words of Dhamma that he gave, even I felt some kind of tiredness. And here I remembered the words of Sayadaw that we should be able to endure. So enduring in listening to Dhamma is a very big good deed, very meritorious, and it teaches us a lot and it gives us a lot of power that if we learn it once, we can use it then wherever we need. So I am very happy for us that we might be tired. Scusi, io parlo a te più tardi, io traduco, ok? Grazie. Endure, molto importante per endure. So we might be feeling tired, we might be feeling exhausted, by just by understanding that doing this practice continuously, we are winning, we are gaining. And this was just kind of an excuse that I wanted to, a pardon that I wanted to ask from you before I say other things, which really seem to be also beneficial, because Buddha teaches us to be mindful about what we are saying, that this should be something beneficial to others if we want to say. And there are two things. One, I felt that maybe it would be useful to explain this style of meditation. We are used to meditate in the way that either we meditate in the silence or we meditate with the guidance of a teacher. And then we are used that the teacher would tell us, do like this, do like that, pay attention to this, pay attention to that. But we are here in Tabarwa, and Bhante, as he said before, he is a representative of Buddha as a monk. In Tabarwa, he is a representative of Sayadaw as the creator of Tabarwa and the great monk. So Sayadaw uses quite a rare style, I would say, of meditation, Dhammanupassana, which allows us to hear Dhamma while meditating. Sayadaw always emphasizes the mind and mindfulness in our everyday action. So during our daily activities, we would practice Chittanupassana, observation of mind states. And while we are sitting, he doesn't give us a structure of how to meditate, how to be. He says, do as you want, do as you feel comfortable. Important is only the action of mindfulness with detachment. Because if we attach what is right, what is wrong in meditation, we will never be able to meditate. Because meditation is kind of letting the mind be natural and just being mindful, paying attention to these states. So Sayadaw never leads truly the meditation with instructions of what to do and how to do. On the opposite, he teaches us to abandon any verbal, any physical action, and any mental action, and just be present. And then he teaches us Dhamma while we are meditating. So everybody can use his own style, the style that he knows from some other teachers during the practice. And this is a chance when we detach from our own thoughts, when we detach from our own habitual actions of the body, then we become free to perceive the teaching. This is why it is important to listen to Dhamma while we are meditating, because we are free to accept and to perceive. And together with that, as Bhante was exactly talking today during his Dhamma talk, we shouldn't grasp understanding. Understanding is not that important as being open to hear. Because when we are hearing, we are letting the chance for this understanding to arise. We may understand or we may not understand, but we stay open, and this is the action that is acceptable during our practice of meditation, that we are just there, we are available with the present moment of happening, with the Dhamma sounding and reaching out to us. Even if we don't understand, what happens is that we make ourselves habitual to listening to Dhamma. Because Dhamma is very rare in the world and we don't have much chance to learn Dhamma, to listen to Dhamma. Many people never meet Dhamma in their life. We say that we know that being born as a human being is already a very rare chance. And there are millions of human beings who are born with this potential of awakening, who are born with consciousness, with ability to choose the right action, to know what is wholesome and differentiate from what is unwholesome, to be able to detach, but they never meet Dhamma. And there are those who meet Dhamma in their life, but they can't hear the teaching. They don't meet masters. They don't meet somebody who can teach, who can educate, who can share. And also there are those who can have a chance to listen to Dhamma, but then they wouldn't have opportunity, ability, capacity to understand. So we should let ourselves a chance to be open to this perception of Dhamma, which we are getting here, which is a rare chance, without grasping whether we understand or not. Dhamma, we just let Dhamma be. And this was just to probably explain you the idea of how our meditation in Tabarwa happens. That we don't expect that somebody would indicate and guide us directly what to do, what to think. Mind should be free. We should learn to be free. We are so much used to all different instructions. We should be able to have our own responsibility and our own freedom and will of living the way of Dhamma. And then also another thing about this detachment from understanding. It is amazing. Just today, I think I had 2 situations happening around this subject of understanding in my own experience. And Sayadaw always encourages us to share our experience, because this is what permits us to be together, to study together, to advance, to support each other, to understand that whatever difficulties we have, others may have them too, and we don't judge each other, but we kind of support each other on the way. So about attachment to understanding, I was just sharing today to Don, when I was sharing the experience how difficult it is to travel with Sayadaw, and that when we are waiting for him on the bus for 1 hour, for 2 hours, because the time of departure was announced early in the morning, 5 o'clock, and then we are waiting, and either Sayadaw is not coming, he's busy, or some processes are still to be done. And then we wait, and we want to know why we are not leaving, why Sayadaw is not coming, why nobody is explaining. We are not ready to accept things as they are. We are not ready to surrender to the situation. We want to know why. Because of the habit of the mind to control. I'm ready to accept and to be patient, to wait. I'm ready to let myself free from this suffering of waiting, only conditioned to knowing the reason why. So as Bhante was saying, we actually can be free, we can be liberated if we are not attached to understanding. Not understanding can be much easier, can be much more beneficial rather than understanding. And we had just this discussion on the walk in the morning. And then I had another situation today with another member, also a meditator, sitting near to me with Guillermo. There is some schedule, new schedule offered to us. There is some structure which is written on the board. And I had some question about understanding this board, right? And I couldn't understand why we write some names in the board of the responsibles and why we cannot. And he was patient enough to give me this attempt to understand. So first of all, it is very important that both sides were present and had patience. This is why we could have a dialogue, successful dialogue. This is real Dhamma work that was happening there. I was appreciating it at that moment with mindfulness. Then still somehow, just due to Dhamma experience, I couldn't still figure out something, why we do like this in this structure, in this program. And I was ready to give up and abandon. I said that it seems we have exhausted this situation, we have exhausted this topic, we spoke too much, and we didn't come to any conclusion, although we were open. And they said, okay, we have exhausted it, let it be, I'm ready to accept and follow just like this. And at this moment, he just added another phrase that probably he also said before or not, and he just added one phrase after I have accepted, just without understanding, doing only. using only. And it clicked, and understanding came, and we were happy, and other people around who were listening to our discussion, they were happy for us. So this is amazing that we had this real life situation today, which could also bring to a conflict if we were not present, if we were not able to work, if we were not having this feeling of bienveillance, of welcoming, and attempt to work together, and attempt to try to let know, and also not persisting, not insisting, and try also to give up and accept as it is, surrender. And we were successful in this. So, and then Bhante today shares to us this Dhamma talk as if he could be hearing our situation. So this is why I felt very much like sharing, because this is what inspires us when we see that when mindfulness is there, there is also success. And when we also share honestly, there is some difficulty. And we may make mistakes, and there is no problem to be stupid, to make a mistake, because this is not I, this is not someone, this is something that can come out of our defilements of the mind. And we all have them. And Sayadaw inspires us to share. And because I'm sharing honestly like this, I think this can unite us. And this can help us to accept difficulties of the mind of the other. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
Anyone else like to share?
This is also a practice to learn.
Yeah.
Sharing is not the
Yeah,
thing
sharing,
to begin.
we, in Tabarwa, we emphasize sharing a lot, you know, sharing is a very important part of learning, and it's a part of the practice, it's a part of exposing ourselves, you know, and everyone's kind of so ashamed of themselves and ashamed of their experience that they can't see themselves, and they are afraid to expose themselves to light, to awareness. So when we share our experience, our idea, our question, our problem, yeah, we show our cracks, and that's how the light gets in. And wow, it's really, once people start sharing, and once we create a space that is primed for sharing and primed for stupid, not being bad or wrong, or not being embarrassed about the impermanence of our thoughts, whatever those thoughts may be, everything opens up, the light really gets in. So we're kind of cracking ourselves open. And Katerina spoke about Chaitana Vipassana and Dhamma Vipassana. And so this is Sayadaw, well, Sayadaw teach these ones. So yeah, be more, sharing is like a generosity. Sharing is like a dana, so it's important that we do it more than we think we are able. Okay, so we'll finish here for today then. And thank you for everyone joining online. Don't forget to leave a like and to share. Take care.
Pazienza, no, io ti ringrazio per la tua pazienza. Anche la tua endurance, no? Endure, no? Poter continuare a fare nella situazione difficile. Noi rimastiamo qui molto lungo tempo, molto lunghe discussioni, e tu non capisci, e tu rimasti. Allora io ti ringrazio. grazie, c'è anche una buona azione per te e per tutti, perché noi condividiamo i nostri meriti, sì? Allora, c'è anche un grande merito, endurance, continuità nelle situazioni difficili. C'è molto, qualità non è, una qualità non è semplice, per sviluppare Sayadaw, il maestro, anche fa insegnamenti per poter continuare nelle situazioni difficili. Tu puoi fare.
Thank you.
So, really amazing, yeah? We
Yeah,
just discussed in the
good.
morning,
Yeah,
and then things come. Dhamma is like this, yeah, it supports.
for sure.
If we put the topic of detachment from understanding today, you see it continues with all different situations and examples. Like I think yesterday also we discussed like something about reincarnation or whatever, and also Bhante was saying something. There were also some of the same ideas. But how can be different? Dhamma is the same, it's about one whole thing, same understanding. So yeah, sure.
Just not wonder if there's so many coincidences.
Coincidence. Yeah, which are not coincidences.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah, true.
Thank you.
Anche voi con la buona endurance. Sì, perché noi siamo qui, noi siamo il monastero, immaginiamo la nostra vita così, con la pratica, con gli insegnamenti, per voi faccio una visita, sì, stereo e anche molto pazienza. Grazie a voi di averci accolto.
Thank you. Good. Thank you.
Grazie.
Voi avete preso i libri?
Sì, grazie.
Noi parlo, sì, non so come.
Sì. No, non che parli. Va vicino. Ah, quindi qui.
Conoscono che
Ciao, grazie.
Thank you so much for
Ciao.
being
Thank
here.
you.
Ciao, ciao.
Grazie.
Grazie. Come
Buon
back
viaggio.
soon.
Yeah. No, enjoy traveling.
Drive safe.
Grazie, buon viaggio.
Arrivederci.
Ciao,
Arrivederci.
grazie. Grazie.
Let's go. Let's go. We tried to go at the end. So I think we tried to go after lunch. Yeah, we can all go.